or if that happened to be the case.
Yep.
So we'll have to wait and see. And obviously, I could try to.
At the same time, it only takes one echo slam for everyone to start spamming.
That is true.
You know, so
I would like to campaign for my boy Mind Control once again, though.
Yes.
Did any other player draw such beautiful artistic stuff on the Dota 2 map? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Dota 2 with memes. Save it with phallic drawings on the Dota 2
It was
map.
so silly as well. Like you see that he's like just juking at first, and then he realized, wait a. I can turn this into something else, and then he makes the second ball, and he just stands still. It's like proud of his work.
Yep. For that drawing alone, give Mind Control the $10,000.
Yeah.
Do your thing, Twitch viewers.
Do your thing. That is that would be very well deserved. We talk a lot about the difference that we've seen these teams go through from when we saw them in the group stage and to this point. What would you say, like, if you were to like put a finger on what the difference is, like the main difference from the team then and the team now? What would the difference be? virtus.pro and NIGMA.
for virtus.pro, it's difficult to say. I don't see a lot of differences. I just see new stuff. For NIGMA, though, I see a different approach to their playstyle. Not necessarily the heroes that but the way they're playing. It's much faster. It's much more disciplined. And they're taking the ball away from the enemy team. It's not like Secret. Secret lets you play your own game. Sometimes, perhaps it looks like you're winning, like it did in that IO mid game, and then they take control. But for NIGMA, I think they need to be in control because that's where we shine. Like if he's up ahead, right? That's where he's amazing. Miracle too. If he's playing from behind, it can be a bit hard.
And we could talk about these teams for days. We don't have that long because we are already in the draft. We have to talk Dota a little bit here. We've got NIGMA already on the dire side, as is their preferred side. They banned out the Timber, the Oracle, and the Nyx Assassin. Io and Solar are banned out by VP, and I think they're probably discussing whether they should ban Snapfire or Enchantress, or perhaps even Chen.
Yeah, so I really like NIGMA's Nyx ban because I think NIGMA are basically saying we can either get Chen or Enchantress. If Chen and Enchantress both in the pool, they probably take Ench. If they ban Ench, they take Chen.
There's so many heroes though. There's Ench, there's Chen, there's Batrider. Now you banned out lifestealer. That Batrider becomes even better for NIGMA if they want to pick it. Chen and Enchantress, they're in a strange spot. I actually like Chen much more than I do. He has a much higher win rate than Enchantress, even though Enchantress has been played a few times.
I like the lifestealer ban. Absolute respect for Mir.
Well, and I think that's knowing that NIGMA are likely to pick this Enchantress and VP Batrider, because Batrider is great against Enchantress, not so great against the lifestealer. Like, yeah, you've got this BKB piercing lasso, but the lane matchup is quite bad. You've got the rage, all the magic damage of Batrider. He's just not afraid of it. So they've basically anticipated that they'll be able to get the Batrider and banned out the hero that NIGMA, would have likely second picked.
It's also the fact that Nyx Assassin has been banned out. That Spike Carapace is one of the oldest counters to Batrider, plus the Oracle that Purse. So many of these heroes are already out, and what you're thinking about is your Voids, your PLs, something like that to stand against that bat, if the bat is even on the off.
Snapfire coming out on the side of virtus.pro, who actually in all the games that they've played so far have not managed to get their hands on that yet. So that will be a new one. Keep seeing new stuff from virtus.pro, as Lizard pointed out. This is another one. You guys feel like it will be solo playing it though, because you don't want to see this for Zayat, right? You want 5 seconds.
I think solo should be the Snapfire and Zayat should be Batrider. So I think they opened up with their 4 and 5. It doesn't have to be that way. You could still put the Batrider as a 5 or as a 4 on the safe lane. We'll see, but I would much rather see Zayat on the bat.
Solo generally is just playing like, let's get this hero that's strong in lane and can secure my carry's farm role, where Zayat is happy to try and secure lanes, but he wants to do that by being more active.
A while to see if they want to pair up with that Enchantress.
They might just want to get GH's hero, not revealed consideration. Shaker or Tiny's also good. Flexible but poor in the support role.
Yeah, I think they've even had mind control on Tiny at some point, right?
So,
maybe not.
Yeah, I like the Tiny pick a lot, but no, they're gonna go Void.
Yeah, it's a hero that's good versus Batrider. That great. I mean, there's nothing really great versus Fire left in the pool, but Void's pretty alright.
You kind of know what most likely your lane matchup will be, even though some teams run the Batrider mid, guaranteeing some kind of lifestealer yet.
Taking that Void away from virtus.pro is also kinda alright, because Snapfire plus Void is pretty... have that chrono to set up the Mortis ult.
And now it's kind of that nice position where when you have first pick and you second pick one of your cores, you ban to protect it. The Void plays very poorly against these illusion carries. The Naga gets banned. Quite likely we see a PL banned as well.
So we have the Batrider and the Snapfire, and definitely Snapfire. Does she need someone to pair up with? Because normally we do Void or Legion, whatever. But like, is Batrider enough of a pairing? Is the Lasso enough pairing? Or do you want to see something?
I think it's not even about the Snapfire. You just want more control on the side of VP, and because of that, we probably shall see some sort of stuns. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't have to be that Legion commander, but whatever helps out their whole team to catch people. It doesn't have to be only. Good call on the PL.
I think it's kind of what we anticipate with NIGMA's drafts is they're not doing anything crazy. They're sticking to their formula, but it's a formula that they've kind of fine-tuned throughout the event, and they're not going to stray away from it. They're going to draft predictive stuff, but it's basically them saying, hey, come and beat remaining.
About the heroes now that are left in the pool. PL, by the way, not only is he good versus Void, and that is good. One of those last remaining melee heroes that are really good versus Zench. They go with the Doom. Alright, so this can be your Rezo Doom.
Yeah.
But it can be your Zayad's Doom as well, as they love running that Doom on position 4.
They even played it mid one game.
They did.
Yeah.
It was against NIGMA as well. Well, the thing is, so they didn't win that game, but they didn't... Like, I don't think they lost because of the Doom mid.
10 seconds remaining.
They lost because of Miracle Medusa.
Yeah, but when you have a Doom mid and you lose, you're like, all right, guys, let's get serious.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, VP have a lot of directions they can go. But I mean, not just the Doom being a core or a core at like 3 or 4 position, the Batrider being able to mid or into the offlane. So you're considering that, hey, Doom Bat may lane in the offlane, but Bat could just mid as well.
Another Titan seems to be a little bit of the flavor of these last couple of days that NIGMA has been going for. Obviously, they were forced to put it mid when they were up against Secret, against that Meepo, but they picked it like they ideally want to have it on G.
There is a possibility of VP going for Meepo as well, so that other Titan is a not only for the Meepo, but for the Morphling. Yeah. I believe Morph isn't banned out in that natural order. Gods, I think the two of us were talking yesterday about that counter pick. Yeah, it has been changed a little bit and isn't as strong versus Morphling, but if you're close enough, it still works, so...
Still nice. And most likely they were going to be planning on picking matchup for their final pick of the have, so it's not going to be Morphling. We'll have to what they get. They need... I mean, they still can Morphling. Playable, but at least gives NIGMA something that answer to the...
There's something crazy like a Wraith King still in the pool as well. You'd be pretty deep versus your Void, yeah.
I guess we see a lot more Defeat Blade Void. I feel like that's where Wraith struggle a bit.
By stick.
You know which hero we haven't seen?
Chronosuke.
I kind of feel like we started the tournament off where Troll was like super high profile pick and he's just vanished.
Did we see him yesterday? We have seen some PAs instead, we have seen some Juggernauts.
We are expecting most likely the Kuman hero to pick up here, so that we save no one's hero for last.
Yes, and I think then also it gives you that flexibility for Bat to go mid. If you has mid pick is like a PA or something that you can send Bat against, that send Bat to the mid lane, pick it off.
So what's still in?
There's AM, there's Metal that's still in, there are these heroes, there's still the Morphling, right? Even though you're playing E, which isn't great.
Morphling's the hero that I would feel best about just because
that team pick.
Void, but they go for the Razor actually. Another flexible hero. Mid could go safe lane.
That's pretty good. It could go versus the Void in the lane, even though he has Void Walk. You don't win that lane as Void. So it's a pretty good pick. as you just stated before, Doom has been played on mid by VP, so there's a lot of flex in this draft of theirs. I like that a lot from them. Solo has always been one of these captains that can do that, right? As long as he has cores that are capable of playing on multiple different heroes or roles.
And as a result, basically both Mind Control and Weeha's hero, which are the last two picks, kind of both have to be K versus Razor, since theoretically Razor could go Weeha, it could go Control. Heroes that aren't just going to get ran over.
It limits their pool for sure. Which heroes are the heroes that do okay against Razor?
You have your standard Queen of Pains, heroes that can just dodge the link. You have Queen of Pain, you have Mirana, but Mirana that isn't played right now.
Yeah.
Besides that,
I would love to see Mirana. Let's go.
The offlane pool, I feel, maybe you have go for wave cutting and stuff.
You can go with the Lina, perhaps. If he comes in close to link you, you LSA and you just beat the hell out of him. That's probably the most Wii hero as well in the game. Also a hero that can hit in the chrono.
Something we didn't mention, of course.
Yeah.
Chrono Earth Splitter, natural combo. Something they may be looking for some even more additional damage. I mean, your mid laner, you want to bring some burst damage to the table. You've got Void, who doesn't actually provide a huge amount of firepower.
Sure, right.
Okay. Come out. Now, we mentioned at the start that you wanted to see more control on the side of virtus.pro, and since then the Doom and Razor not really offering that control. And then you look at NIGMA's 4 heroes, and if there's going to be a team fight 4-on-4 with these 4, virtus.pro is going to die. Like, they're out.
Yep. VP is trying to play the lanes, and you described their style sheet before we came into the series. They're very lane driven, and that's what heroes like Razor and Doom are there for. Their team fight is lackluster.
They need to play the lanes, and they need to be the ones doing the plays. They need to be the aggressive ones after the laning stage. They cannot let NIGMA just take control of this match at any given point, because if you do, they will set up these big ultimates and they will just throw you. But they do have a lot of catch on theirs. Like, you have the Batrider. Doom isn't the greatest, but if he itemizes properly, he can be pretty good at that too. And if you initiate on someone such as Void Spirit, he doesn't have any save. They don't have any save on their side.
What they don't have, though, is any way to take objectives right now. And that's where I'm like, Razor, it's another good lane hero, but normally if you have this lamp that come team fight, you need to win their lanes and then just, get your Aegis. Aegis against Void is one of the important parts of the game in mid to late game, so that, hey, you can't Chronos carry, but that second life. So they need that hero that gives them objective taking or a big late game win condition, which is what the anti-mage is. So they need something that just changes up their draft, because right now these 4 heroes aren't going to win the game by themselves. They can win the lanes, they can find pickoffs, they can do all these cute things, but you need a big X-Factor hero.
And that's why NIGMA banned out the anti-mage. That would have been like, at least they got the late game type of hero. They pick up the Lina themselves.
I mean, it's just a decent hero versus the Razor as well. If Razor is mid, it's just your nuker in the chrono as well. It's a playmaking hero, so because of that, it's quite decent. I haven't seen many Linas do too well in this.
What was the last ban from NIGMA? Did they ban TA? Oh, they banned anti-mage. Yeah, of course, yeah. Maybe they could TA if they want to go for the mid. If they really want to go all in on trying to win the lanes, you get some TA mid, and it gives you that Roshan objective taker.
Does Razor lose a heart against Lina?
No, Razor's fine versus Lina. It's more...
All right, now...
They still go for the morph.
Yeah, this is crazy a little bit for me, at least, because morphling in this kind of a game doesn't look that great. You're playing into an ET, you're playing into a Lina that can burst you down in that mid-game easily if she has a nice time in the lane and starts rotating fast enough. So, morphling, yeah, that's a bold move from... So I still think that it does give them that late game potential.
Yeah.
Win condition, right? But not an easy morphling game.
We're gonna see Kuman really test it here, huh?
Potential. I mean, yeah, he's the big morph player, but I wonder if they could even theoretically send it mid, do like a secret style mid morphling. You don't think against the Lina?
Not versus Lina. I mean, it's possible. They did secret send Nisha versus SF, right?
Yeah. So that's Nisha,
Yeah, but that's Nisha. It's still possible. Like, you can, but usually that matchup isn't considered great at all. Yeah. There has been some differences in the morphling, the way it's played now and before. You don't even go for adaptive strike 4-0-4, you just go for waveform. Perhaps, but let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see. Oh, I do want to hear from you guys because we're painting a very nice picture. NIGMA has a very well-rounded draft. You know, they can do a lot of things. What are they weak at?
They have these big long cooldowns, you know, the Void, the ET, their team fight's crazy, but what happens when those ultimates aren't up? Particularly if they have a weakish laning stage, you know, you're versing a VP team that's incredibly good in lanes, has good laning heroes. You're going to have to use those ultimates well and win those fights convincingly.
Extremely low amount of catch on their side besides the chrono, and Lina is just extremely easily doven by the Doom.
All right, well, let's see if virtus.pro can pinpoint those weaknesses in NIGMA's draft and make the best of it. We're going to go over to Cap and Cal for game 1 of this year.
Prepare for battle.
virtus.pro has long been the crown jewel of the CIS region. In previous years, they've dominated the DPC circuit, but in this last iteration, broken and changed, this virtus.pro has a lot to prove. Surrounded by many haters and doubters, some coming from their own regions, in fact, VP has put together this roster and now has to challenge the TI runner-ups in this lower bracket final. Kyle,
was lame.
do you think they can do it? Do you think that this VP roster that we're looking at here has the markers to achieve the same kind of success that previous iterations have?
I think that this team does. I'm not as sold on this draft. Specifically, a last pick Morphling into an Elder Titan, into a Void. The reason that ET traditionally was seen as such a hard counter to this Morph is that late game, you have tons of armor as this Morph because you have all these Agi items. ET takes that down to nothing. There is no armor you're going to get once that's maxed out. It's a necessary BKB game for all of VP's cores. And in addition, this mid matchup, the Razor against Alina, against really this whole draft of NIGMA, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, the Alina wasn't even picked up yet, and you saw that Razor and you were like, oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I don't like it into Ench, ET, or Void, and that's what the three they saw when they took it. So VP, they certainly have win conditions. They want more frenetic engagements. Just sort of, oh God, this guy, we're doing this guy, and Razor's chasing this guy. NIGMA, their strength is if you end up fighting them in a 5-on-5 that they're prepared for, somewhere around an objective or a choke point, you got to be scared because the chrono, there's just so much burst, so much team fight potential. But to the panel's point, a lot of cooldowns and a lack of catch. That's what VP would look to abuse if they want to win this game.
Yeah, if you want to make this lineup, the only way to make this more wombo combo heavy would be for NIGMA to draft Enigma, right? I mean, this is, you've got Vacuum into Chronosphere into ET Ultimate. That is just a trio of spells that can win any engagement. And
I really liked when they took the ET, right? Because it could have been the mid hero, right? We've seen play that. There was a potential there. So you don't really have full information on the NIGMA lineups pretty much ever, whereas VP in their first three, they're kind of giving away. You know, you can't really hide this Razor on the off lane any longer. Mind Control going to do some creep pulling.
Darkseer is another good example of how they kind of hide their draft. We've seen the Darkseer run in various positions of late. Here, it's just going to be the plain old normal off-lane Darkseer run by Mind Control, one of his most prolific heroes. Crow's going to be joining him down here on the Enchantress, as he's often been doing. They're going to pull this creep wave with the Ion Shell.
Nice job by Kuman, interrupt the tornado there. It is so annoying because it creates this pressure on the tower so that you're tanking too much damage as you try to last it. And it also then would prevent more from perhaps trying to help out Solo in this zoning.
Creeps going to the deny range, but so much damage is coming out from Solo. Mind Control cannot focus on getting those last hits. A couple of denies there. Plus, they lost control of the range creeps. And those range creeps drifted back into lane, and I'm pretty sure Kuman was able to get those denied as well.
Yeah, it's all about trying to get the double. This is very scary if I'm Enigma because you're giving a couple of free waves. You love playing this hero into a Darkseer. I think it's part of the reason they pick it here, because you can last it under tower with all your base damage, no problem. Once you get a couple Wraith Bands up, you can just, you can be left alone. How does NIGMA ever kill a Morphling without a chrono rotation? Especially if he's ahead.
Right. It's pretty much just the cores of the other lanes, right? Like, we're going to need our Lina and our Void to both be rotating a lot to be able to shut down this Morphling.
Yep. But just keep in mind, NIGMA's lineup, it's not meant to thrive in the laning phase at all. That's VP's objective here. They're just looking to buy time, get to that 15-minute mark without being in too big of a hole, and then take those big team fights with their wombo combo lineup, to your point.
You know, VP did a good enough job in this initial attempt by Mind Control. He's still not level 3, so he doesn't have that second level of Ion Shell, and it's it's working against him big time here because nicely done. Look at that.
Really
Solo
well played.
separating the creeps from the ion shelled creeps and is now going to be able to pop a couple of denies here. The creeps actually killing each other, so no ion shell creep is left.
This is, I feel like we should have a theme song now. There's the Monty Hall. There's mind control just consistently pulling. But the problem I have right now is that, you know, this is the 2-on-2 right now, right? Like Kuroki is down here. He is effectively just playing this bottom lane. And if you look at the CS disparity, you know, it's not really changing the status quo for mind control.
Slows him down again. Mind control once again. Like even if he doesn't die here, he's being forced away from getting last hits on the creeps. And that is certainly a killer by itself.
To be fair, the solo only the 2 deny, so plenty of experience. You see Rezo doing the exact same thing up top. There's no such thing as offlaning anymore, guys. It's effectively just a Pied Piper position as VP continue to freeform bot mid lane. This is where the action might happen, but GH not really the ideal roaming 4 on that ET as Zayat comes in to try and help out his Razor.
Yeah, he is gonna just whack him a couple times.
That Ice Ogre armor though is so key.
I wonder how long he had to look for that one. Most Dooms, they're just running around the map trying to find that armor. Actually switches up for the Wolf, which I feel like most of the time the Ogre is preferred.
I think the Ogre, yeah, I would agree. Especially because as a Doom, you really just don't have many spells to use, right? It's effectively Fire and Devour. No Solo's gonna have to cook you away. Wisely doesn't need to salve, but Crow's on the chase.
Crow really gunning for him here, but he's gonna find that Solo is already healed up and now is gonna be in trouble himself. As Diet gets in front of him, but Kuman is the one to secure the first blood.
And the creep hill as well. Already way ahead of this game is the Morphling. Up top, of course, you're going to have the Miracle, Void, free farming as well. But it comes down to just the way these two teams are going to play. VP, it's all about pace. It's about playing different lanes, looking for kills in opposite corners of the map, and making NIGMA take skirmishes. It's NIGMA's responsibility to just slow the tempo down and wait for the 5-on-5s. You really just, as we said, look at Kuman, right? How are you going to pressure this guy at this point? Level 5, Wraith Band, he'll have another on the way shortly. You're just effectively trying to trade, and that's what Kuro and MC are looking to do here. And looks, yeah, they're going to keep a tri-lane here with VP.
Now, you said that you didn't like the initial draft and a lot of the matchups for VP, but you pointed out that they do have a lineup that is just going to win lanes. Do you think some of that is the philosophy of Solo? I mean, that was the old VP, right? Win lane, win game.
It could be. I mean, if you look at the net worth, they're not actually winning. Partly, I think, because NIGMA got a bonus bounty rune, but it's certainly been a part of their philosophy for some time.
Oh, nice doesn't manage to dodge that cookie stun, and as a result, Mind Control will die here as a big crit comes out from Zayat.
All right, maybe the Wolf pays off after all.
I guess it did.
30% bonus damage, I think, plus the chance to 2x.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, and Zarzo. It is the benefit of Batrider, right? Because he's effectively doing what MC's doing, but better, because he doesn't have to run for his life at all times. So we can farm these bonus jungle camps along with everything in the offlane. Has the bottle, and now almost like he's halfway to level 7 on Rezo. So I know gold's only slightly in the favor, but yeah, look at that XP disparity. The Darkseer versus the Batrider. That's where the big advantage for VP is right now.
That's where I was weirded out that the net worth was to the favor of NIGMA, because I'm looking at Mind Control not getting a whole lot of CS, and then I look at Batrider getting free farm plus. Yeah. Right? He's getting every single creep, plus he's getting neutrals, but the mid matchup is, that's where we're seeing the big disparity. Weeha's controlling that. Yeah,
well, it's the CS is relatively even. The thing is that Razor's been forced to buy regen. He's had to reset because Lina can harass, whereas Razor really can't. Now he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to TP in, but there's two NIGMA heroes here. Look at how about we.
Bolt down with Plasma Fields. Curl does have the armor on him. He is going to be protected by that stomp. Meanwhile, Weeha going to be targeted. Nice! Look at that sidestep from no one. He's going to ensure the kill on Weeha. Beautifully played. Now he's going to be able to Plasma Field the both of them for a double kill. Make it a triple. No one turns this whole lane around.
That's exactly what you got to do if you're VP, right? It's just bring the numbers. Play fast. They collapse on the mid lane with a teleport and 2 rotations from both side lanes. And there you go. NIGMA, you don't have a response. Both of your supports are already in mid. The only possible teleportation is the Void, but with no damage in the Chronosphere, it's not going to turn anything around. And what a hell of a sidestep by no one.
Yeah, that was just beautiful. It
sets everything up.
Not discouraged by a losing lane whatsoever. He is now in control of his fate. We're going to see mind control chased down by no one here. Gives him the cookie, lands on top of him. A simple combo, but very effective.
Yeah, I'm the Snapfire hero, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Weehaw tries to make a rotation to shut down Kumin here, but finds that the carry of Virtus.pro is just a bit too fast on the fingers.
It's efficient, though, because GH was mid, right? So he clears a free couple of creep waves as Weehaw looks to make a play. I don't mind that. It's high risk, high reward. Maybe you only got a 20% chance to pop Kumin there, but if you get it, that's a huge swing for your squad. Miracle, he's got the chrono treads. Looks like he'll be going for the defusal rush, so makes sense. He wants to get involved earlier. You don't need to play for this like 30+ minute timing. You want to be able to take 5-on-5 engagements early because he needs to be involved. We just saw that dive mid. Without a void TP, there really isn't anything that can sort of shift the balance of power as VP just charge straight for your backline heroes.
Very efficiently dealing with those ion shell creeps. Our 10-minute outposts are going to be an objective I'm sure both teams are going to be looking at here in the next minute. Mind control. Cookie goes out. Nice turn from Zayed. Reads exactly where mind control was going to head to. And VP, man, 7-0. 2K gold lead. They're looking hot right now.
Just don't count NIGMA out. The thing that their draft is going to suffer with is the lack of a natural frontliner, right? All of these heroes, none of them can really be that primary initiator. No one can just beat on a tower and accept that they'll be initiated on. However, it's because their draft wants full fives. They can just surge in a void. He's got an ion shell, pop the chrono, and then the rest of his draft collapses. You can throw so many spells, the stomp, the earth splitter, etc., etc. It just takes more time. So VP, keep up the tempo, keep playing with aggression, and get some of these towers, because kills, really, it's cool, it gets you ahead, but it's the towers that'll give you the map control to throttle your enemy and win the game.
Okay, so where is that big move going to come from, do you think, for Virtus.pro? What's the move that they need to make? Who's moving into what lane to get a kill and then turn it into a tower?
You pop a Doom or a Lasso on somebody mid as a couple heroes run in from behind and ensure that you are not in a scenario. You make a move as 4 on the mid tower with Morph ready to TP in. You know that Miracle is going to be in that engagement. Don't get more than 2 heroes chronoed. Perhaps even save a buyback, because getting a fight post-chrono mid and then the tower is going to be key. It's the catapult wave. Perhaps this is the time to strike for him.
Yeah, I certainly would have expected VP to try and make it go with this second catapult wave, but we seem to be kind of chilling right now. Do have both the Doom and Resolution in the neighborhood here, and they are going to smoke up with no one, but it looks like they're going to move up to the top lane, and Doom, okay, now he's 6. Must have had a tome.
What's Rezo got? Bots, okay. Makes sense. This sort of fits in, the bots into Blink. That makes a lot of sense because it's about playing opposite corners, right? What better to make that happen than the best pick-off artist in the game with global mobility?
I think NIGMA had a pretty strong read that VP was making a play here, and so they bring Miracle into the mid lane. He smokes up with some of his team. He's saying, if they're going to try and make a play, let's just make this a full 5-on team fight.
That's a VP special. It's one of their good strengths and weaknesses is that they oftentimes just make what I'll call do something smokes. So you went top, sure, to try and kill the void, but the wave was in your tower. So when that move fails, you've effectively just wasted time. Whereas NIGMA, they make this play with heroes already showing mid. So if someone's there for VP, they're going to be able to collapse on it. It just feels like VP maybe needs to think more about structures and objectives than just plain old pickoffs. And if you look at the warding from NIGMA, it's another thing I really like about the squad. Crow likes, in these sorts of scenarios, he's comfortable placing defensive warding, and that's what he's probably going to look to continue to do, because you know that VP is going to try to play on your side.
Yeah, well, the VP certainly has a lot of, or at least some aggressive vision down, a lot around that mid lane, but one ward deep there in the triangle.
Yep. Find Rezo, but again, with no real catch, how are you going to find a kill on a Bat Rider moving that quickly, especially with Firefly popped?
Seems like Kumin is the first to try and take an objective, comes up to this top lane, does a little damage to the tower, nothing major, and not a whole lot of support behind that move either. It does leave the Snapfire into this bottom lane to get some free levels, but she's already level 6, so...
Yep. Yeah, the other thing maybe that shifts us a bit towards VP, specifically in the mid game, is that the Doom is more of a... You'll effectively gain another core as this game continues.
Sure.
Whereas NIGMA's support duo is purely support, right? Like, they're not going to scale in terms of being able to purchase a whole bunch of DPS or aura items, whereas this Doom at a point will have like that level 15 talent. Suddenly the Devour Gold starts acting as a Super Midas. Maybe you get a Blink, maybe you get a BKB.
Oh, look at this sneaky TP from Science. Now going to follow up with the Snapfire damage, so Weehaw is going to be unable to save.
Whoa, did
Miracle
he went topside trees and Miracle just never saw him?
Yeah. So there's a small little TP point that is inside of the trees that you won't be able to see. And that sneaky play from Science is able to find 1 kill. Resolution, got to be careful here. Sends himself a little bit too far, now going to be caught by the Yule Scepter. Maybe a cookie can save him, but oh, fly away! No, the damage from Kuro, that impetus hits much harder when you're fleeing.
And this is the thing, it's shifted a bit. VP, they've got a lead. I don't think it's big enough right now. They didn't get any towers, and because Weehaw now has a Yule, suddenly that kill potential's there. Before this item was picked up, yeah, Rezo can play, oh, I see 3 heroes, 4 heroes, I just walk away. Now he is threatened. Weehaw immediately will transition and get that tier 1 bottom 2. This is going to open up the map for mind control. He'll be able to farm a couple of these Radiant camps and shove in this bottom lane continuously. And you can see the stacking as well.
Oh, wow.
Like this.
Isn't that a little dangerous to do against a Bat Rider?
A little bit.
I feel like if Resolution somehow stumbled upon this, he's just telling his team it's gold.
They see the sentry and sentry and ward placed. That's cool though, because if you're not paying attention and maybe I guess it's like a way to disguise the fact that you're placing a ward. I guess they just get both either way. Kuro's gonna probably trade his life here. It looks like he'll take out the ward and sentry combo on the high ground.
A classic 5 sacrifice, killing himself in order to de-ward.
Like this, Kuman, get aggressive. You're strong. Come hit this mid tower. Your only big fear right now is the Chronosphere. It's just about NIGMA taking this fight properly. They want to initiate with Wii, cast out his stuns and poke a bit, force and just kind of drag VP forwards and then hit him with the Chronosphere. And here it is, TP from Miracle coming out.
Oh, Yule Scepter actually going down at the same time as that Chrono. The damage is still going to be enough to wipe out no one eventually here, but Weehaw has to commit so much. In fact, he's going to Yule Scepter himself now to be able to dodge some of the Snapfire damage, but Resolution hot on his tail, hits the Flame Break, bouncing back over the side. Resolution just needs 1 hit, and that's good enough. Escapes onto the high ground. Away he goes. Now he's going to be able to get the last one, a Miracle as well. Science is here, hit by the cookie to chain that stun. Double kill for Rezo, and a chase continues. Kuman turns into a Darkseer, says, forget about it. Let's just take that mid tower, because that was a winning engagement.
That was not miscommunication from NIGMA. That was a self-Yules from the Razor. Really well done. Just as the Chrono comes out, Weehaw almost saves himself. Miracle, a bit aggressive, just trying to smack Rezo in the face, but those happy feet, he jukes the stomp, gets the lasso. That's an easy kill. There's a Morph just waiting on the low ground, and there's that critical mid tower finally falling for the side of VP as we about hit 16 minutes, a substantial gold lead for the hometown heroes.
Yeah, Kyle, you said that you want to make a big rotation into the mid lane and you need to keep spread out, make sure there's no, more than 2 hero Chrono. Yep. Well, in that situation, there was only a 1 hero at a time. It was either the Morphling or the Razor. Miracle had to make a choice. And unfortunately for NIGMA, that choice, well, it was a poor one. 11-2, 5,000 net worth lead. NIGMA, though, trying to defend their own jungle here. Spotting Resolution. He's quite tanky, and no one's now going to reveal himself off that Invis Rune. Instantly gets Yule Sceptered up. Now we have the ET ultimate flowing in as well. A lot of damage to the Laguna Blade as well. A Yule Scepter dodging that last shot, but Miracle, he's going to commit for the kill with a time walk. He just needs 1 more hit, and he will be able to get it, but he time walked in and won't be able to walk back out fast enough unless... No, he actually does manage to get a little bit of distance here, and Kuman can't pursue fast enough, especially with 3-man stomp slowing him down. Miracle in and out. He escapes.
Exactly what to do it is if you're NIGMA. Miracle, he doesn't have Chrono, so VP want to play aggressive. They're making the right moves, but they're a little antsy there. They were, what, 200 gold off a Blink on Rezo? Wait for that, then make this move. I think they find a kill there on Wii if Rezo had trusted that he'd get fed the cookie, but it's one of those weird scenarios. It's a we talk about Snapfire being broken. The cookie is an insane spell, but it does require some pretty intense coordination to make it look as good as it did in the early game for VP.
Especially on a team that is probably still figuring some things out. They probably don't have that sort of second nature read of their teammates like NIGMA certainly should have anyway, as they've been playing for quite some time together.
Yep. This is reminds me of one of those boxing matches where you got one guy looking for the knockout as he slowly loses the fight. That's NIGMA in this game, because that one team fight around Roche where they catch 3 in an Echo, Chronos, Lina stun combo, like that just blows open the game for them. That's what they're looking for. They're comfortable losing slowly, so to speak, because they know they only need that one shot, and suddenly this is their game. But for now, gotta play a little cautious. VP's on the hunt, all 5 heroes on the enemy side of the river. And there's the blink. Now they can finally find some heroes.
A blink for Batrider and a blink for the Doom. That is a significant upgrade in initiation for VP.
But they're not exactly amateurs. They're aware of what's going on here.
Yep.
And if you want to play our jungle, well, we're just going to mirror you. This is the traditional response, something they did to great effect way back even at TI7 when they were the victors.
And the best part is Mind Control is even pushing out this top lane, so they're getting both the side lanes pushed in right now.
Yeah. This is a really good maneuver, right? Because you'd think, oh, well, Darkseer will play the bottom, but that's actually become the safe space for NIGMA to play in, so it's actually MC that now swaps to top, because really, this is totally dead lane. And as a Void, if you play here, well, VP already want to kill you. If you place yourself on your side of the map, now even if they don't kill you, they'll be right in front of one of your towers.
Yep. An early grab here on a Curl. Committing for the 5 position and captain of NIGMA. You could see they maintained a spread even as they were getting that kill. They just didn't want to overcommit too much. They know they've got him dead to rights, just don't group up.
Ooh, Blink Dagger reveal on weak.
Resolution very far forward here. The ET is going to snap and it's going to do a lot of damage, but it's still not enough. Resolution with 1600 HP.
Top tower is under
The Lina and the ET's arsenal is not quite good enough.
And outposts in 30 seconds. VP probably want to control this bottom one, but you can see NIGMA, they know what's up here. They want that experience bounty. Yeah, I like the choice of the blink on weak because we keep talking about it, but the team fight's there for NIGMA. It's the poke, it's the distraction. Don't like force VP to get confused so they clump up and suddenly there's a chrono and then the team fight's yours. But if you don't make them panic, they're gonna easily be able to play around these big AoE abilities. Scouting out the Roche's curl makes sense. 1-to-1 outpost split. Looks like the runes will be 2 for 2 as well. Not bad when you're 5k gold behind.
VP, they just are refusing to really commit to one side lane or the other here. Like Kuman will clean up that top lane for sure, but they're really sticking around this mid lane.
I think I would have liked the Doom to grab a Shadow Blade instead of the Blink, just to mix up their initiation potential.
Okay.
And also, it's just so much easier to play bottom, right? Miracle is just consistently bouncing around this lane, and you don't have that same ability to scout him out. Plus, Void with fast fingers is a tough target to Doom.
All right, well, they will make a commitment now here in the top lane. What I like about this, they're showing all these heroes, hey, we're pushing top, we're pushing top. Miracle, of course, is going to be like, all right, playing the opposite side of the map. Zayats is not showing himself. He's hiding behind this tower, waiting for Miracle to finally show himself in the creep wave.
It's a really good point, because if Doom shows top, right, Miracle has no problem shoving this bottom lane. But by standing down here, Zayak also represents that he's top behind his Morphling. It's a really important, like, just, you know, we can see him, obviously, because NIGMA can't. This slows down NIGMA's ability, split pushes. Miracle, as he enters the lane, the TP's inside. But that's cool. He just showed and got out, right? He wants to keep VP thinking about bottom lane instead of the juicy objectives over on this half of the map.
So that's really cool, right? A win-win scenario where he basically either is going to kill Miracle or prevent him from pressing the tower. This now turns into a situation where they can control Roshan and trade it for the tier 2 if they want to. They can commit 5 people up to this lane and let Miracle do what he wants, because an Aegis would be prime right now for VP.
Oh yeah, they really want this pickup, but there is an ET Spirit. You have no problem scouting this out.
Annoying.
Very annoying.
But I'm not sure if it's enough for NIGMA to actually... I mean, they've got all this team fight. Surely you're going to be funneling towards it, right? But doesn't look like they're going to make that call.
The thing is, VP don't have a medallion nor any natural ability to take Roche. There's 2 ways to kill Roshan in Dota 2. Either do it without taking damage or do it real damn fast. VP have neither available. Thus, this is a much heavier risk than it would be under usual circumstances.
So, so in your opinion, do you think that NIGMA is calling VP's bluff and saying they're not going to do Roshan?
Look at the net worth, and yeah, exactly that. because to the point we made earlier, like, you don't see them. They will find mind control. It's about time somebody on NIGMA dive. And you consider, like, this gold advantage has actually started shifting into their favor. VP are the ones looking to make plays. They're the ones with the edge.
Oh, I thought a pickoff like that, boom, you go back to Roshan. But VP is trying to play it fast right now. They rotate multiple heroes down to bottom, seeing if they can catch Miracle. Miracle, though, was wise to their tricks, but maybe not good enough. He actually gets caught by Resolution, pulled back into the Doom. A clever play from virtus.pro is going to result in a kill on the enemy carry. May lose Zayats here as Weeha's going to try and commit for the kill, but doesn't actually get it. And now it's going to be two of them. Weeha and GH in trouble. Snapfire going to lose his ultimate here, doing a decent amount of damage. Weeha stops it with his LSA, now trying to retreat, but sticky napalm building up on him. Now no one's here as well. A secondary kill, this time on the mid. All three cores have now died back-to-back on NIGMA. And they take the Aegis at the same time.
That's how you got to do it if you're VP, because no one's really helping the Morph in terms of damage output, and you can self-tank with the Manta. You just need to provide adequate distraction so you can commit long enough into the pit. They'll get Kuro as well on the back end. This is how you got to play if you're VP. You've got the edge now. You're about to have a BKB on no one. Keep playing fast, get these towers, and just keep sweeping the map. NIGMA have yet to get that decisive 5-on-5 they're going to be looking for, but they're going to be soon approaching the timing where they're comfortable to take it. Probably about when this Aegis expires.
Some big ticket items for VP. BKB for no one, E-Blade for the Morphling. They even get an aura item in the Vlad's the Doom.
And this is just fine. This is the more Morph is going to thrive. He's got the E-Blade, got the Aegis, bit of a gold advantage. But late game, everything's equalized, and I don't care what your farm is. Don't care if you have a Satanic. Status resist is irrelevant. You get caught in that bubble, get enough damage, you're going down. Nice pick off here. Looks like Rezo should die. One more hit.
Bottle. The wall comes out. It's still not enough. Rezo hiding, but the Dragon Slave will run him over. Now Solo, he's going to get caught as well. A first hit bash from Miracle. Makes things pretty easy. virtus.pro slipping up just a little bit here, feeding away some kills.
And you can see NIGMA, they're confident playing this way because they were all 5. And even into the Aegis, the thing is, yeah, you might be able to inevitably turn a fight, but what NIGMA will do is they'll throw out all the resources, they'll pop the chrono, they'll get kills, and they'll let you take the supports and then get out. And more importantly, those fights, those kills, they're happening on the VP side of the map. You don't want to look to engage around where Kuman is now, because it's just a lose-lose scenario. You make a mistake, you're going to be forced to buy back now because VP are on your high ground.
So in your metaphor of a boxer just looking for that knockout punch, NIGMA have scored a couple hits here, a couple strikes, but nothing major. It's really that one big team fight that will turn around this entire game. And virtus.pro, they haven't given it to him just yet. It's a bit concerning, though, because VP, they looked great against Secret as well, but just one or two mistakes really cost them that series.
And that's the thing, when you play against teams of this caliber, you're going to need to beat them. They are not going to give you anything for free. You're going to have to take what you want against their will. And that's what VP is looking to do right now as they hunt down NIGMA. This is sketchy. You don't want to approach an area of the map where NIGMA have control. Choke points are terrifying.
Kuro led them straight to a high ground war.
Yeah, exactly.
He was saying, come to me, chase me, group up. And Zayats, he actually reads that situation here. Now he is going to be caught by the Old Scepter, trying to deward this, and is going to instantly get bopped. But at the same time, Miracle actually jumping forward and catching Resolution as well. VP, once again, slipping up and losing 2 of their heroes. As long as they don't lose any more, though, this is still recoverable. But no one's being chased, and BKB, he's going to have to pop it for fear of, well, actually, for fear of a lot of things. He has to turn around and Eul Scepter up Miracle, but Miracle still has another time walk ready to go. They had the Chronosphere, but the high ground and a buyback from Zayats. They were terrified of no one dying there. Girl, well, you know, sometimes those things just happen.
But that's the name of the game, right? NIGMA, they pull you in, find the kill, kill Kuro, we don't care. And now, because Batrider's still dead and they have Chrono, just go straight back in. VP, you're not going to read this when it's a 4-on-4.
They smoked up, and they could have gone for Kuman there, but he has the Aegis. They want a better opportunity. That's why, like, no one was such an important kill.
Yeah, and notice again, what are they playing around? The vision. That's the name of the game. This is high-tier Dota 2. At the end of the day, skill disparity, not really there. But if I have wards and you don't, my team's winning this fight. No buyback.
Zayats, they know he bought back, so it's still a worthy kill. It's not the big team fight they're hoping for. That may still come at them. virtus.pro, they're actually going to try and take this fight. They're going to be able to get the last one. A Miracle, they're going to take out the Chronosphere. He's gone. He does have a buyback though. Mind Control is committed already. His wall and his vacuum. He's going to be chased down by no one. Managed to get that kill. 2 dead on the side of NIGMA, and it's just a full-out retreat for the Europeans, but it's Kuro who's going to get caught on the end as well.
And that's how you got to do it if you're VP. You look at this NIGMA lineup, what they're really missing is any sort of save. You've got counter initiation, you've got combo break, but there's nothing to actually save your Void. That's why, if you look at Miracle, he's got the Lincolns queued up, and then all of a sudden, that no longer really becomes an easy option for VP for now. Big window to perhaps chip at this tier 3.
I love how both teams like scored a small pickoff, and then the other side, they just went at them again.
Yeah.
You know, like NIGMA lost their Enchantress, smoked up and win again. VP, same thing with Giants. And as a result of that team fight, they're going to be able to sneak in both the tier 3 and possibly the melee barracks.
Repair kit's so annoying.
Yeah, that repair kit finally going to be finished off, and Kuman will be able to jump back with a waveform. NIGMA are very desperate to be able to catch somebody here, and that's why they surge up GH. He's going to try and run down Solo. Solo just make it over the cliff, but it actually results in Weehaw blinking a little bit too far forward. Dodges the LSA as well. Solo, who is this man? He's juking and jiving all over the place now. He's left entirely alone, so eventually he will die, but it was cute, it was clever, and you got to give him props.
I haven't seen a salamander make moves like that since that Planet Earth documentary when all the snakes came out of nowhere and he had to
He just started booking it across the sand. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Man, not bad. This is that's big for VP, but look, it's 21-9. The gold is only 7K, and VP certainly in control. This is their game, but the thing is, it's not one of those scenarios where, you know, you've got some Drown Medusa lineup where you can say, oh, it's their game to lose. No. This is still their game to win because it's them who are going to have the onus of continuing to make these plays. They've yet to make any critical mistake. So far, it's been all VP, but that can shift in the blink of an eye if NIGMA get that critical opportunity.
Radiant's middle tower
A big man Chrono. In fact, we've only seen the one Chronosphere this entire game, have we not? And it was on half of a hero.
Look at him following this courier. Finally, they're hoping it would lead them back to a hero or something, but eventually they just take what they can get, much like on the Doom kill earlier. 30-minute marker approaching. Both sides, actually, they swap sides and control the outpost. VP now playing the bottom and right side of the map. They've got some gold to collect. The tier 1 and tier 2 is still standing. When you are stronger than your enemy and you feel that, you might as well just collect that free net worth that's on the map.
And also to bring up, it's very important against ET. Look at that Morph armor, right? He has 50 at the moment, but the only armor that's relevant if ET's near him will be that little +3 from the Vlads.
Right.
They need to get more and more of it so that he doesn't just get 100-0'd by somebody like Miracle in the span of a couple of seconds.
Do you think that means he goes BKB or an armor item?
You get the BKB because you just aren't going to take damage. You're dying to magical.
Nice pickup here from Resolution. It's going to be able to grab Weehaw, pull him in. Trying to get the chain stun. Yule Scepter goes off, but I don't think it matters too much unless the Glimmer Cape. Miracle's going to try and bail him out here. He does manage the Chronosphere, but Akuman, who had already morphed into Strength, but maybe it's actually too much anyway. With all that percentage-based damage coming out from the AT, he's now dead. Into the back line, though, looks like Mind Control. He's going to be gone on by Zayt. Should take out. Zayt has to commit his life for this one, though. A 2-for-1 so far, but Miracle's going to look for more. Solo slowed down. Glimmer Cape helping him out. He actually still had the Diffusal Blade. No one going to be fed that cookie. Doesn't hit the stun onto Miracle. Now going to be hit by the Stomp as well. And no one. He's gone. That's 2 cores, no buyback, and a support. Possibly the other one here is Solo still trying to make his way out. Slowed by the enchant. Make it 4 kills for NIGMA on exchange for a Mind Control Dark Sphere.
And they didn't. I talked about the lack of save on NIGMA. There isn't any on VP either. They expect their morph is strong enough. You look at the net worth, he was already 4K plus ahead of the entire game. But when you're caught in that chrono, that magic armor, you look at the ET, right? Removing 100% of your magical armor, not just the physical we've been talking about, and then you get popped on by the full Lina combo. There's just nothing you're going to be able to do to survive.
Yeah, and he got hit by, what level is Elder Titan right now? He got hit by like, what, 40% of his HP off of that Earth Splitter?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Max HP is damaged. So yeah, sure, you're full strength, but you 4K HP.
Yeah, Kuman didn't do anything wrong. He managed to morph into strength before he got hit by the Chronosphere. He went up to 5K HP, but Elder Titan, he just cleaves through that like butter.
Indeed. You can see the issue, right? Where VP, the draft, the morph makes a lot of sense up until this point in the game, where suddenly you can feel the pendulum start to swing back towards this dire squad. doesn't matter how many items you have. The ET just renders them all purely offensive.
So a very clear win condition in these team fights for both sides, right?
That's the key item. Miracle is no longer a lasso target. Does Rezo have anything to break yet? Because I know he had the pipe picked up instead of the BKB or the force staff. And yeah, there's the force coming out. They'll have to be real quick about it because there's a manta on Miracle too. If you see the bat, boom, pop mana, there's no lasso coming out.
Smoke up here, playing around the Roshan pit. Roshan's not due to respawn for quite some time, but they still need to control that area. If you're virtus.pro, they need that extra life. It's the way to counter the chronosphere. Even the cheese would be helpful for no one.
So something I think we saw Gambit do in one of their games a couple days ago that I would have liked to see from VP, which was just more emphasis on the BKB timings and then grabbing the gem. Because NIGMA, it's really been about the vision. That's why they're just fighting so hard to stay inside this game. That's why they've been so successful, because so far, you have to find that big
a search for Miracle. Yule Scepter does manage to find resolution here, but he flies down the cliff as a missed LSA time on that Yule Scepter. Allows resolution to escape for free. A play. Miracle still going for it. Managed to hit the chronosphere on it too. Is going to deal with the bad rider first. Trying to identify him. No one managed to get off his BKB, so he's going to be good for now. But he starts trying to drain some of that damage. Has to walk away. On the right-hand side, we're going to focus on Mind Control. Tries to manage to get off a vacuum wall. He's going for Kumin, but Kumin, he's going to be able to finish off Mind Control unless that stop. Oh, he manted it. He waits for it. Just a little bit more damage. Should be able to get it. Zayt's going to actually die to both GH and Kuro, but they're both going to be chased down by the big, scary Waterman as Adaptive Strike stops the GH teleport. That's 3 dead. virtus.pro strike back.
What a hell of a game, man. Back and forth, back and forth. Both teams trading fights. That was just a little overextension by Miracle because he got 2, right? But no one, again, fast enough, gets the BKB off UC. That's the target they would have preferred, but nope, immediately onto the Bat Rider. And that is just not a target that's going to be relevant enough to win you that engagement. Also, nice backside initiation. Solo just spamming his ultimate on the choke, and then the Doom comes out on the Lina. Yeah, we survives, but he didn't get off any damage. Thus, there really isn't any damage to speak of for this draft.
Rezo. He knows that NIGMA might be a little desperate at this point in time, so he's flying around in the trees, making sure that no one's getting close to the Roshan pit. Just a stomp for now, and Miracle, you can approach if you want, but you have no chronosphere. I can't possibly see them taking this fight. Sure enough, they won't. Aegis and Cheese for Kumin and no one. NIGMA, they're still sticking around here, a little surprising.
That was sick. He actually, he Lincoln's Wii.
Yeah.
He gets lasso there and most likely dead. So again, just further example of why this team has been so good for so long. You've got to beat them. They're not going to give you anything for free. Like the Halberd choice on no one. If he's quick enough, he can either cancel the Lincolns on the Void, which is helpful, and in addition, just evasion against a hero that is still about 3,000 gold away from MK.
Now, it looks like virtus.pro, they want to take this timing. They're not going to go high ground immediately. We saw a line being drawn by Kumin. He wants to keep all the lanes pushed in. But NIGMA, they're going to take this opportunity while they're a little bit split to just get a simple pick off. It's going to be Solo, chased into the trees. Once again, that Glimmer Cape is buying him a lot of time, though. And now the fight is going to be forced onto NIGMA as no one attaching himself onto Kuro. Kuro, a little bit faster than that Razor, will manage to get away. Much of his damage been drained, though, and that's why NIGMA should just back off here. After all, they're fighting into an Aegis.
They can play with so much speed, right?
Yeah.
The spam surges, the extra time walk range, Weehaw with the Blinken and Aether Lens. That's what gives them that edge, right? Because they can threaten you as 5, but then the moment they get the whiff that, hey, this isn't a fight we want, 2 seconds and they're out of range. So it's very tough to play on that knife's edge for VP, where you're not susceptible to getting crushed in a 5-on-5, but the moment you sort of have the right spacing, also knowing when to collapse and actually start chasing back.
Spider legs, cute. Zayt puts himself on a cliff, trying to get some temporary vision out. Meanwhile, no one taking some damage here. Yule Scepter, LSA, self-Yule's going up, but at the same time, they do manage to catch him. Zayt, who was sitting on that cliff the entire time, spotted out the Void, blinked on him, got him with the Doom, and now it's going to be no one pursuing for more inside the base. They've already got the double kill for Kumin. No one's trying to get a kill of his own, but fortunately, a Surge allows Weehaw to be able to escape. He gets back. There is a buyback from Miracle. He's ready to go with the Chronosphere. but NIGMA needs to force VP into an awkward position. Now as they go for him, he's going to buy back, he's going to try and TP in, but they're pulling Mind Control farther and farther away. They're going to try and catch him, but they do manage to get the Chronosphere onto that Morphling. Kuman's going to be targeted down, he's dead! 90 seconds on the clock, no one tries to go for a TP, but it's in vain! BKB wears off, a Yule Scepter will stop him. 2 cores dead once again. virtus.pro, I thought they just had the advantage. I thought this could have been the killing blow.
It's all on the guy. It feels like it always is in these sorts of scenarios. The Mind Control Darkseer just getting the wall back off, keeping his Morph Illusion alive, immediately microing it, Ion Shells it, surges it. That's what forces Rezo out of the base. That's what actually does enough damage to put Kuman in a position where he's going to die, and then Miracle with the wherewithal to buy back, have the Chrono up as he respawns. He's just dead. There's an Elder Titan close enough to remove all sorts of armor, and Wuhan might have found another.
Bleed any more kills like this. Resolution, though, is very tanky, and Alina alone will not be enough to threaten him here. And I don't know if the buybacks are going to be forced out of VP. They may be just losing a lane of barracks here. Kuman doesn't actually have a buyback.
They already have the mid-racks, though, Cap, so this is really just an equalizer, if nothing else.
Yeah.
NIGMA wouldn't be able to go throne nor get a tier 2 in either side lane, so you're okay here as VP, but you know, you've got to respect the strength of NIGMA's lineup. Your Morph will die in a Chronosphere.
Solo trying to do his best to actually push NIGMA back away from this barracks without having to commit the real defense.
Do they have double Vlads? A little bit of a miscue there from VP. It looks like both Solo and Doom have a Vlads, indeed.
A little awkward attempt at initiation as no one is coming back up, but the Linkage will protect. Nice 2-man Centaur stun from Science. Hits Mind Control and allows no one to be able to follow it up with a Cookie stun. Now Mind Control is stuck. He's going to try and run the other direction, but has found that this Surge will not allow him to get away against the Yule Scepter. Gets off the wall vacuum because why not? Might as well get some damage down, create some illusions.
But that's huge, though, because even if you have a buyback, there's no wall, and that is a huge tool. You consider you're getting Morphling. Another downside of the hero later on in this game is that because you're such a stat-based core, your illusion is effectively just as powerful as you are. Thus, if the DS gets it, you're just giving away your carry. But now you don't have that threat in VP. They're going to look to hunt. They've got Lasso. They're looking for Miracle.
Almost grabbed him. They do manage to hit him with the Lasso. So important. Science is going to be able to get off the Doom as well. Hit him, and he's gone. No buyback there. 2 minutes on the clock, and without a Chronosphere, NIGMA, they have nothing left to be able to defend this. And it's now virtus.pro just swarm in, take the 2 lanes of barracks. They can head to bottom, get the Megas as well. Hometown crowd. Oh no! Coleman! They have this, and now we just got popped by a Laguna Blade. No one's going to try and somehow clean this up by finishing off the melee racks first. Going for Weehaw, activating his BKB. Gets off the Yule Scepter with that link. They're close to the fountain. If they have 84 steps, they could save him, but they just don't have enough. He does have a buyback, though, with a 2-man stomp. Oh, now they're vacuum into the LSA. They've all been caught. virtus.pro, they're just get wiped here. Is now Science is going to be the last one to be run down. Looks like even Solo being chased by GH. Fortunately, Science with a Blink Dagger away, and the Spider Legs gets him to safety in the trees, but Solo... Oh, the stop! Oh,
that was the gem if they had him there. That would have been huge.
That would have been absolutely massive, but he does escape. Yeah. Solo may be able to do so as well.
Look, click on Weehaw's hero real quick with that Aghanim. Wait, what?
Solo. Ooh. Oh, he knows. He saw it. He got a little hit from his illusion, and now Solo should be dying here.
Through the trees.
Through the trees, gets punched in the face by the stapler.
Yeah. Look at the telescope plus the Aether Lens on Wii, right? Look at that Aghanim. Alt-click over this Laguna Blade. You don't expect how much damn damage is going to do.
850.
Pure damage.
1,078.
1,100 pure damage. Kuman did not expect to just get extinguished inside the base, and now
what is going on here? Science, they're gonna buy back on Solo here, trying to protect his forward position.
But that was without Miracle. Like, that was VP's window.
Yeah,
like, you killed the hero that mattered. All you've got to do now is play a little more conservatively, but that's again the problem trying to win this game, is that Weehaw is casting spells effectively from out of your screen.
Yeah.
As is the Elder Titan. It is the deceptive amount of damage, and you can tell that the Morphs is certainly not prepared for it.
One small, very small timed error from Kuman. And now this game is still recoverable for NIGMA. Otherwise, they would have been matched up against Megas.
And think about the composure, right? That seemed to be the big difference there, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, you lose your hard carry. the guy that's won you the last two engagements that you took for 2 minutes. Some teams maybe just call GG or throw their bodies worthlessly at the enemy to feed away before the GG. But NIGMA, they don't even hesitate. They know exactly what they've got to do. They take out the morph, and VP, they get a little overconfident, right?
Yeah,
they smell blood, and in their bloodlust, they go a little deep. They lose their morph, and then bonus heroes on the outset. Luckily, they do preserve the gem, which means that that third Roche should at least ensure they'll have vision advantage on their side. They can control this half of the map, but it's going to be that third Roche fight, and we've talked about it. What's the strength of this NIGMA lineup? It's taking fights around choke point objectives. This Roche pit is perfect, and yeah, you missed the last two, but this is the one that really counts.
So in a Roche engagement, the third Roche of the game.
Boots of Shacklow on the Void for a bonus 1,000 HP. Who needs mana?
3,500 HP on a Faceless Void with Backtrack, by the way. So just add in another 25% to his HP pool.
Yeah. And you look at the talents, right? Miracle knew, I don't have damage problems this game. I have an Elder Titan on my team. I'm going to go full utility and ensure that by this point in the game, I'm as survivable as possible. And the full magic build for Wii as well. They have hit 2 level 25s, soon to be 3. GH is level 24 in this game. That's nuts. And don't disregard his just raw right-click damage. You get a bunch of spirits off, and you just start smacking people with that briefcase.
They're going to try and stop Resolution here. They'll be able to grab him before he gets that outpost. They poke at him. They're going to try and get this kill at a distance, but Rezo's too tanky for that. And virtus.pro, they concede that high ground. They're not going to try and take this fight, but the fight may be forced onto them and into the low ground. They get the Doomman Chronosphere with the ultimate on top of that, but can they actually burst down this Morphling? He's still in half health. Will be able to waveform one away. NIGMA, instead they're going to turn over to Resolution. Miracle looks for that next kill in a core. Should be able to get it as Resolution flies away. They actually have to back away from it. He went into the back. He actually killed Kuman. Now no one's going to be chased down as well. He activates his BKB, tries to go for a TP out. He's entering the stop at the Heavens. Halberd was beautifully placed out to prevent a bash, so no one does manage to get out, but Solo, he's gone for 100 seconds. Zions is gone for 45. A buyback was already forced out of Kuman. And they still have Roshan on the table, Kyle.
Oh, they do indeed. They're going to collect that. They're maybe going to be able to kill this tier 2. No, the wave is way too far pushed up top. Yeah, we're talking about this guy. VP have 2 melee Raxes, and it just does not feel like that is relevant at all. And a big part of that is Weeha. He's got the bots up. Soon he'll have that secondary Lincolns. You know, you can't... waves don't matter. This hero can spam them out, no problem. He even got the Dragon Slave 25 talent, so he's going to clear these waves, no issue, and then look to be able to take engagements. So suddenly this is NIGMA's game to lose. Roshan, blessedly for VP, has not spawned yet, I don't believe. Otherwise, this game might just be over as we speak, because none of these 2 heroes dead had buyback.
Yeah, that's a very late Roshan. It's finally going to spawn here, but at this point in time, you might as well wait until you have Chronosphere. How much longer do we have? No, you just go for it. Just go for it now.
How do you stop Miracle? He's going to be constantly getting that secondary Lincolns applied. He has near 4,000 HP.
Well, they're going to try.
Behind him.
No one's going to poke at it here. Just the Plasma Field to be able to get some vision over to Roshan. Maybe they can somehow get inside this pit with Resolution, grab some of these items. Roshan, just down to 1,000 health. They are going to finish it up soon. VP needs to be able to get inside the pit now. They're going to start with Zions. And managing to hit 2 minutes. They got to do. Miracle's being focused down. They do manage to get a huge vacuum into the wall. That's going to be able to control him up. But virtus.pro, look at it. No one, he's trying to go for the Roshan. He tries to grab it, but GAT gets the agents away from no one. He snatches it away. Now Kuman left all by himself in the Roshan with that buyback.
Again, mind control. He got the click off, gets the start, and immediately refreshes the vacuum to ensure the kill on Kuman. No buyback.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
But the Miracle was dead with no buyback still.
In the heat of the moment, with the roar of the crowd, virtus.pro, they saw Game 1's victory in their grasp, and they slipped, Kyle.
We talked about it for, what, 40 minutes? A near flawless performance. A couple miscues here and there, sure, that's going to happen, but it's just straight up Kuman had 1,100 health instead of 12, and he dies. A couple of his allies die, and their window shuts dramatically and incredibly quickly, but this is the danger when you play against a team of this caliber. Shouts to Weeha as well for going off. I felt like him and MC specifically are the only reason that this game lasted